Today's video is Chapter 5, Lesson 2. We are going to have variables on both sides of our equation. So let's take a look at an old problem. An old problem might look something like this. 2x plus 4 equals 8. Let's look at a new problem. A new problem is going to look like 2x plus 4 equals 10x. So, old problem, we have two things on the left, one thing on the right. Two things on the left, one thing on the right. That's how they're similar. They both had something x plus a number, but what's different is that on the right, this equals a constant. It equals 8. On the right, this equals 10x's. There's a coefficient and a variable, 10x. Over here, what was the first song that we would sing? Remember that it was always adding and subtracting. Then we multiplied and divided because we were working backwards of PEMDAS. So the first song we sang was minus 4. We wanted the 4 to go away so that the 2x was by itself. Right now the 4 is attached to the 2x, so if we get rid of the 4, and whatever we do to one side, we come over and we do it to the other side. That was our first step. Okay, similar but different over here. I have variables on both sides. Over here, I only had variables on one side. So when I sang my song, I wanted to move the 4. Get rid of the 4, I wanted the 4 to be gone. Here, I don't want to move the 4, because if I move the 4, there's no constants to add or subtract. I can't add or subtract unlike terms. If I do minus 4x or minus 4 minus 4, I can't actually add or subtract variables with constants. So that is not going to help me. But I am going to sing a song. The song is called minus 2x. Minus 2x. Cross out what's my answer. Okay, let's look and see why are we doing that? Well, I have variables on both sides, but I really just need them on one side. So let's put all of our variables on the right, and then we'll keep our numbers on the left. And I want to get rid of this whole chunk, not just the 2. If I wanted to get rid of only the 2, I would divide. But I want this whole 2x chunk to move to the other side. So our song today, still subtracting, we're not multiplying or dividing yet because we're working backwards with PEMDAS. So I got to move my variable over, and I can subtract 10 apples minus 2 apples. They're the same kind of term, the same kind of food, 10 chicken legs, 2 chicken legs, whatever you want to think of it. So this is legal. So I'm going to cross this out, and I get 8 x's. 8 chicken legs, 8 apples, 8 however you want to think about it. Okay, in the old question, what would I do? My next step was to rewrite. I would rewrite whoever was left. 2x equals 4. Well, that's the same thing I'm going to do right here. Rewrite 4 equals 8x. 4 equals 8x. So the first song was to subtract 4 from both sides, and I do that because I have numbers on each side. So let's get all of my numbers to the right, keep the letters on the left. Right now, on this new question, I'm moving the letters, variables. I'm moving the letters so that they're all on one side, and the numbers are over here. Okay, next step in the old question is to divide by 2, because I want the 2 to be gone. New one, I want to divide by 8, because I want the 8 to be gone. Old question, 4 divided by 2 is 2. New question, now this just happened to work out to be a fraction, but this could have been anything. It could have been a whole number. If I simplify 4/8, I get a half. So this don't worry, don't think that these are all going to be fractions. They could be whole numbers also. I'll try to make the next one a whole number, but this one I made, and it turned out to be a fraction. You could have also said 0.5, 0.5. You can make it a decimal if you wanted to. All right, let's try this one. So I have 9x minus 4 is equal to 13x. I have x's on each side. Let's move these x's over to this side so that all my x's are together. I'm going to sing the first song as minus 9x. Minus 9x. Cross out what's my answer. Why did I subtract? Well, remember this negative sign goes with the 4 and has nothing to do with this 9. 9 minus 9 is 0, and that's what I'm going for. That's my goal. That's the reason I'm able to cross things out, is because they equal 0. So don't look at this sign, look at whatever's in front of this number. The 4 is negative, the 9 is not, he's positive. 9 minus 9, okay, so first song, minus 9, cross out what's my answer. I get 4x. Rewrite. Notice I'm going to rewrite, and I'm going to keep the negative with the 4, the subtraction sign, the minus sign, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to keep it with the 4, equals 4x. Divide by 4, cross out what's my answer. X is equal to negative 1. 1 negative is negative when you're dividing, and I get negative 1. All right, you try this one. So pause the video, work it out on paper, push play, see if you're right. I ended up with 8. X equals 8. Here's why. First step is to get rid of this 8x. Minus 8x, cross out what's my answer. My answer is 4x. Rewrite, so the 32 is positive, so I don't have to actually write plus. I rewrite 32 equals 4x. Divide by 4, cross out what's my answer. X is equal to 8. 32 divided by 4 is 8. All right, try this question and pause the video, work it out, and hit play and see if you're right. Let's celebrate. I got x equals 3. What did you get? Did you get x equals 3? I hope you did. Here's what I did. I added 3x because this minus sign out in front, a negative 3, positive 3 makes a 0, and it goes away. Boom, add 3, cross out what's my answer. 2 plus 3 is 5, so I have 5 x's. I have 5 x's on the right. Rewrite it in this purpley pink color. Divide by 5. X equals 3. What if the book decides to write it like this? Well, it is the same old thing. Nothing really has changed, but it kind of has changed. Doesn't really look the same. We have 2 things on the right and only 1 thing on the left, but we still have x's on both sides. So, who do I want to move first? Who do I want to get rid of? What's my first song going to be? It's gonna be minus 2x, cross out what's my answer. Now I'll tell you, sometimes students will do this. They'll say, I think the first song should be minus 13x. And so I would say, okay, go ahead. Let's follow this logic out. Minus 13x, cross out what's my answer. That's 0 equals negative 11x plus 66. Did the world stop spinning on its axis? No, we can do that. It is legal to do it, but it hasn't helped us at all. We have nothing on the left. So just because we can doesn't mean we should. I think let's minus 2x and see what happens. Minus 2x is going to be so much better. Minus 2x, cross out what's my answer. I get 11 x's. Then I rewrite 11x equals 66. See, now doesn't that look better? That looks logical. Now I can divide by 11. When I subtracted the 13 x's and I got equals 0, that just seemed weird. And what would I do now? I don't know. So just because we could doesn't mean we should. We should do minus 2x first. And divide by 11. Divide by 11, cross out what's my answer. X is equal to 6. final answer. So sometimes you have two things on the right and one thing on the left, and you have to subtract something that's on the right and move it over to the left. So don't get hung up that you have to be subtracting something from the left. More importantly, think, I have two things over here. Let's get rid of one of these. I don't have two things over here. I only have 13x. I just have one thing. I have this one chunk. But I have two chunks. So let's get rid of one of the chunks right here. All right, let's do another one. I kind of want you to pause the video and try this one by yourself, but I will give you a hint. If you're looking at the screen, here's my first song. All right, hit pause, work it out, hit play, see if you're right. Oh, another hint. This one is going to be a fraction or a decimal. I made this one not be a whole number on purpose. Okay, so don't freak out at the end when it's not a whole number. Good luck. Hit pause. All right, correct answer is -1 2/3. -1 2/3. Did you get that? Let's check out why. So I want to move the 8x because I got two things on the right. I don't want two things on the right. I want one thing on the right. I want to move and have all my x's on the left. So plus 8x, 1 minus 1 plus, I really subtract, and I get a -6x. This pink purpley thing again is my rewrite step. And then divide by -6, divide by -6, cross out what's my answer. If you want to visualize it, 6 goes into 10 once with 4 left over. 1 and 4 6 is 1 2/3, and it's negative because one negative makes a negative. So, that one was a toughie. That one was weird. It was weird because we got a mixed number at the end. And it's always nice when we get a whole number, but that's not life. You don't always get whole numbers. Sometimes you get mixed numbers. Here are your Google Classroom questions. Question number 1, type in what would be your first step. What would be your first song? What's the first thing that you're going to do? Okay, not just who are you going to get rid of, but like what would you add 5? Would you subtract 7? Would you plus 2x? Like, tell me your first step. And same thing here, tell me your first step. But down here, tell me your final answer. First step, final answer. And I'm not going to be able to type in the exact, like I'll give you some feedback on what the right answer should be, but I can't type in how everyone's going to type this exactly word for word. So just look at my feedback on the Google Classroom. All right, good luck. Enjoyed it today. Love this lesson.